Customer service is one of those things that lies right in between incredibly easy and, well, near impossible. Often, airline customer service in particular seems like a complete oxymoron. But in a world of a gazillion transactions and ever-decreasing personalization, well, maybe that's just the way airline customer service needs to be. No, I do not really believe that. Last week's trip to Birmingham, Alabama started off on unsteady footing. My flight was delayed a couple of times, which of course is common. I received notice of first a 68-minute delay, then another of an additional 9 minutes, approximately 5 and then 3 hours before my flight was due to depart. I called Delta Airlines and asked directly, is there any chance my flight will be undelayed? And I was told just as directly that no, there was no chance of that happening. So I left for the airport well over 2 hours ahead of my twice-delayed departure time for the 30-minute trip by cab. Halfway there, the good folks at Delta Airlines texted me to say, you guessed it, the flight had been undelayed. Insanity ensued, and I'll spare you most of the details. I got a bit rude and pushy at the airport, and I made the flight with seconds to spare. I authorized that my baggage be sent separately. And thankfully, I checked upon arrival because somehow my bag had made the flight with me, despite me being told very clearly it would not. 3 hours of unneeded stress notwithstanding, all's well that ends well. Well, click the link you see at the beginning of this piece that refers to the oxymoron that is airline customer service, and you'll see a far more detailed story on the issue. Airlines just don't much care about customer service. And as a flyer, well, that's kind of an issue you need to contend with. I'll stop short, of course, of saying it's okay, but in fact, flyer beware is a mantra you need to take on if you ever use the services of a commercial airline. We should assume that the Delta airline representative I spoke with was uninformed rather than something worse. But we should also start right there and ask how that's possible. Are airline customer service representatives less well informed about the very thing they do than the general public? Now, embarrassed as I am that I took the Delta rep's word for her employer's policy at face value rather than do the research I've done now at the time, it mattered to me. This is, of course, not okay. And the part of the story that includes checking a bag I hadn't planned to is insignificant, as is the immense amount of money Delta makes from checked bag fees. What matters is that customer service is easy when you do it right, and that in a world where a clear, direct, and important question gets answered so incorrectly, Delta airline customer service is simply broken. So now what's broken in your customer service processes? Well, we'll help you figure that out, but as I tell clients pretty frequently, there are lots of things you can tweak in your business process without help, if only you try, if only you think a bit. At its core, customer service in particular is really pretty simple. When you see customer service as an important element of growing your business, intent is, well, pretty much all that matters. And once you view customer service as a profit center, that collapses. Of course, that's the problem with airline customer service. Virgin, Delta, and all big airlines slipped to the dark side of the equation a long time ago, and large businesses, to be honest, have very little incentive to change their ways until given a reason. And while there are several stories about low-fare, high-touch airlines like People Express cropping up to look back on, well, People Express was acquired by Continental almost 3 decades ago, and Continental itself is now merged with United, a very large airline. Now, ask yourself, do you want to start a new airline? The answer is almost certainly no. It's expensive, it's difficult, it almost always ends the same way. But wouldn't it be great if one component of airline customer service was at least adequate training? I'm the answer guy, and I'll be back.